I was playing in Salzburg, Austria. I was playing for the Red Bulls. So this was the year after, you and I were together. And so I was doing TV for NHL Network. I was in on the Lake House to Toronto. Salzburg calls me and says, or the Red Bulls is like, hey, can you come play this tournament for us? Our goalie's terrible, and we want to win this thing. And it was a European championship. All the winners from 8 different leagues play in one tournament in Salzburg. Maybe 6 teams. No, I think it was 8 teams. Anyway, 3 games, 3 nights, Salzburg and Vienna. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go there. And Pierre Paget was the coach. And so I'm the only reason I'm telling you the story because I think it's awesome. And I hadn't played a game, I missed, Crawford played in Chicago the last 30 games straight. I didn't play once. It was like 10 months since my last start. And anyway, we win. We beat a team from the Czech Republic. Then we play a team from Sweden the next night. And then we win. We're the Austrian team. We're the worst league of all of them. And then we end up playing Jokerit from Finland. And anyway, we end up beating them. So I'm like, I'm a hero. They sent me on vacation. They paid for it all. And I go back and they're like, hey, come on back. Well, and I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm retiring. If I don't get an NHL job, I want nothing. Anyway, they paid me enough to go back. And we ended up losing. Kelly and Finley, my little guy's 12 now. He was only, I didn't know if he was 2 yet. They came over. My parents were bringing over my girls who were in school for their spring break. And I had planned this whole Italy trip. It's right there. And so my wife and I she wasn't feeling well from her shot flying over. I was watching ESPN America. The Bruins were playing, I don't remember who. Turco was in net. And the trade deadline just happened on that previous Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So, I'm like, all right, my career's done. Trade deadline's over, whatever. And then Tuukka gets hurt. And I'm like, like 5 days earlier, that would have been amazing. It's nothing against Tuukka, but you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And so we're at my wife's birthday dinner the next day, just the 3 of us. And it's Sunday in Austria, not much is open. And my agent calls and he's like, get to a fax machine. I'm like, dude, you know where I'm at? There's no one's open. Anyway, I find a hotel, I get a fax from him. Peter Shirelli called and said, hey, we want to sign Turco. I'm like, dude, the trade deadline's come and gone. He's like, well, that was a roster freeze, but they could still sign people. But it never happens because they got a minor league team full of players, right? That they can just pluck from. And so the rule was I can sign. I had to be subjected to waiver wires, but I couldn't play in the playoffs because that roster had already been submitted.
Oh, okay.
So there's usually no need for these guys, right? So Tuukka was hurt. Anton Hudobin, who was in the minors, he was hurt. That was his first year. So they had this young kid, and I think it was Hutchinson. He was like 20, and Shirley's like, we need Tim Thomas. Him and I were the same age. We were super close. They're like, hey, we need somebody to play, 4, 5, 6 games for him because we don't want to blow him out for, you guys are old. So I said, yeah, I'm ready. So anyway, they ended up signing. I left in the middle of the night and I had to book my own flight because I don't speak German. Red Bull office is closed. I left my wife and son there. I'm like, here's a number. Call them tomorrow. Good luck getting back. And she's like, you serious? I'm like,
sorry, honey, got to go.
I'm like, we're back on healthcare, baby. We got the.
That's like, so true. That's awesome. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I went and played, finished my career at the Bruins. And then the playoffs came and went. We won the division. The next day, they're all having playoff meetings, and I'm packing my shit up. And they're like, hey, do you want to stay in practice? I was like, no, I'm good.
I'm going to go. That's so cool. I never knew that. That's unbelievable.